Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we will discuss about the Docker. Okay, what is a Docker and what problem the Docker will solve and why do we need the Docker actually and how to build a Docker image and how we can ship the image at different environments and what is a Docker container and what is a Docker hub. And also I will show you how we can deploy the Docker image in the Docker container and run the application. For that, we need to have a Spring Boot application. So we developed the application using Spring Boot, as everyone is aware of the Spring Boot, and also we have done this. Okay, first let's discuss about what is a Docker. A Docker is open source and is a platform for developing, shipping, and running applications. Okay, it uses containerized technology to package applications and their dependencies into standardized units called containers. These containers can then be easily moved across different environments, ensuring that the application behave consistently regardless of where it is deployed. Okay, let's give an example of our real-time scenario. As we are developing any project, right? It is moving from one environment to another environment. It is shipping from two different environments for testing, for pre-validation before until it go to production. Okay, so, and it is not guaranteed where it works fine in the development environment, but it may fail in the QA environment, right? So which means there is something is missing in the QA environment with the library or some dependencies missing that. So using this Docker, we don't have all these problems because everything will go as a one unit, right? It is called as a container. Means all the our applications related dependencies are bundled, zip in one place. Then it will be deployed in a container. So the container is guaranteed so that it can be accessible in any environment so that it behaves consistently. Okay, it is provides a easy way to streamline the development process by allowing developers to build, test, and deploy application in a consistent and isolated environments. Actually, containers created with Docker encapsulate everything needed to run an application, including the code, runtime, system tools, or libraries, or any other settings. This ensures that the application runs reliably across different computer environments, whether it is a developer laptop or it's a testing laptop or any production in the cloud or hybrid on-premise, wherever it is, right? So this is the main advantage of the Docker. Okay, Docker also provide tools for managing containers such as Docker Compose for defining and running multi-container Docker applications and Docker Swarm or Kubernetes for orchestrating and scaling containerized applications across a cluster of machines. Okay, that is a different thing. That once you understand this simple deployment of the Docker, what is a Docker, and if you are clear about this basic and the first level, then you go for the cluster. Okay, now as we discuss about first, let's say build a Spring Boot application. The Spring Boot is a small project, okay, and then create a Docker file. With the help of Docker file, first we have to create image. Okay, with that image, we have to deploy in a container. Means what is a container? Why do we need a container? All the running images are in the container only. A container is a place where our actual images are running. Okay, once we have the image deployed in the container, then only we can access that application, then open from the browser. Okay, now let's start with why we are waiting for. Okay, just go to the STS and see the Spring Boot application. Now I have already a Spring Boot application created. There is nothing much in that to discuss. That's very simple controller, Docker controller. Okay, where I have a simple message, welcome to the Spring Boot Docker. Okay, then I don't have any other dependencies. The only thing is this form.xml which comes as a part of building the Spring Boot application. The only thing is we have to add a file name here. File name is it is your wish if you want to give that. It is an application of type app 1, app 2, app 3, or it can be a microservice of microservice 1, microservice 2. Right? It is your wish, whatever the name you give this. So okay, this is the basic thing that. Now, what is the next step as we discussed in this picture? First, we need to have a Docker file. Right? So this is the Docker file. Okay. So before we create Docker file, what I can, or how I can create a Docker file, what script it is. Okay, don't worry, I will show you the step by step of this. Okay, when this Docker file will come into picture, first make sure we have your Spring Boot application ready. So to that, first build your Spring Boot application. Okay, the simple CRUD operations are just simple message also, as I showed it here. Okay, nothing much, and just say run as maven install. If you do this maven install, what it do? It build a jar file for us. Okay, it contains all the libraries that on our project and give you a Spring jar file. Okay, after that we go to next step. Now let's wait for the jar to complete. Okay, now it is built success. Now refresh this. Could say in the target environment we have this Spring Boot Docker jar. Now go here, properties, and locate where this jar is placed. Okay, now copy this jar and place it is the Docker images. Okay, it's already there. Delete this one and place it here. Now we have to create a Docker file. How do we create a Docker file? A simple text file. Okay, just say new file. So you have to give name it as, select what type of file you are creating. This file name is Docker. But make sure you have to follow the naming convention, DS caps and a face small. Then finish and it comes here. Make sure, remember always this has to be at the root level. Though we have 4 entries. What those 4 entries are there? First, you have to configure the JDK and the endpoint. It is exposed. Okay, let's show that. This from what is that? And time environment and it is exposed. What is that? Define the network port that this container will listen on during runtime. So now the default port is 8080. You can go 804432. It is whatever the port number you can go. And it is say it contains 2 paths. One is source and destination. What is this source is not from where the Spring Boot jar is located and where you have to copy it to the destination location. And the next entry is entry point. It configured a container to run as an executable jar. As you know that even normally also to run the Spring Boot jar, what we are using there, we are using a command java -jar and you are giving the jar file. The same way, it's nothing difference. Okay, now we have the Docker file ready. Now copy this Docker file and place where you have this Docker images. Now already have this one, delete this. Okay, test this. Now copy this, open a terminal. Okay, in which drive it is located in the D drive. Okay, let's go to the D drive and to that path. Where is this? Now you see this, there is a command docker ts, which will list all the images in the Docker. Now I don't have anything in my Docker. Okay, let me open my Docker. It's empty, right? You could see that there are no images and no containers. Now, what is the next step? As per this diagram, we have a Docker file ready. Now, the next step is building Docker image. How to do that? To build a Docker image, we have a command called build Docker. Okay, let me show you that. What is that command? There is a Docker build -t. Build -t. So what is the Docker file jar file name that we are going to build it? We will go with the same jar. Okay, data first dot. See, for the first, if it is the first time, right? It takes some time to load the jar and do that. Now it says Spring jar not for. Okay, it is not available at the time. Okay, now we'll go to images. Okay, sorry, just a small mistake. It is updated target/jar. No, we don't have a target folder here in our location. Okay, remove this target because by default this Spring Boot, right, place this jar in this target role. That is the reason we have added here. Okay, if you run from this path, it is required. If you are running outside of this, okay, this is not needed. No, go back and run the same command. Now you could see the transferring the file is 174 bytes and context transfer 19.63. Now you could see the Docker file, what is OpenJDK, and this jar file is added. So I'm writing this is the image name, and the Docker is named to a Docker IO library. So you go to this Docker, you see the Docker image is added. So this is the second step. Now let's go to the Docker container. So when the Docker container will store the image, as soon as you run the image, right? When do the image run? Where do the image run? The image is running in the Docker container. All the running images are stored in a Docker container. Okay, let me show you first in the container. See, containers, we don't have any images running here. As soon as you execute the command to run the Docker image, then only it runs. So for that, what is that command to do that? Docker run. So this is the simple command run. So run, what is the process? Then you can run on any port number, right? Triple line. And what is this container port that we have given 8080 in the Docker file, right? Just I showed you it in this Docker file. We have given a port number exposed to 8080 where the container is listening. First part is our endpoint port, and this is the container port, second part. And what is the next thing is, what is the jar file which we are running is spring.jar. Sorry, we have copied it. We will copy from same here. Okay, this is the jar we are going to run. Now, the moment to say Docker run, then it start storing this image in the container. You see this immediately? It has come. Yeah. Now it is still going on. Now the Spring Boot jar is running successfully on port number 8080. Means this is not actually 8080, which we are talking about the container port. Internally, Tomcat is embedded. There is embedded Tomcat for the Spring Boot application, right? So this Tomcat is running an 80804. Now to access this application, we have to use this port. What we have used this port here is triple line. In this command, you say this one, I have used 99949. So okay, using that port only, you can access that. Okay, you say localhost triple line slash message. You could say welcome to the Spring Boot port. So it is already open. If you want to show me that again, just close this browser. Okay, open it as a fresh. Okay, could say welcome to the Spring Boot backup. What is this message? You see this in the controller also. The same message system. Okay, this is how you can build an image. I can run the image. To run the image, then only that image is available in the container. And one more thing I would want to show you, tell is that this image name won't accept any caps. Make sure all these words be small letters. No caps will be allowed in the Docker. So that is a rule. Okay. And if you want to show, sorry, see the list of images running here, show dog images. So this is the repository. No, I don't want to see this repository. What I'm trying to say is all the Docker images. Sorry, a command the ps-. Okay, now earlier we don't have any images. Right now we have these images. When this was created 2 minutes ago. Okay, now we have another list of commands. Okay, where we can start, stop, and also you can see the logs also. So you want to see the logs by container ID, right? If you go here and copy this container ID, and if you want to see the Docker logs, and paste the container ID. See, you can see these are all the logs. Right? If anything happens in the application and you can't see that error, right? So you troubleshoot the error, right? You need a logs. To check the logs, right? You have to go to the log. And you can also check the log using container name also. Here is the container name, right? So this is the name of the container. you can based on the container name also, you can say Docker logs. See, using container ID or using a container name, either way, we can get the logs. So these are the few of the important commands that we are frequently using the Docker. Now, as told you, right, according to this picture diagram, so in general, in real-time scenario, just building image and running the image in the Docker container in your local machine, or it is a assume of it is a development environment. But QC will not have access to your same container. They have their own Docker installed in the QA environment, or it is a testing environment, staging, pre-production, right? Every environment they have different they have their own Docker installed. So how do they access our Docker image? We cannot just share the image as in the shared folder or somewhere, right? So we have to publish it to some place that is not a shared folder. We have a common place where we can pull all these Docker images from that location. That we call it as a Docker hub. This is a Docker hub. Okay, that Docker hub will store all these images. Okay, now let me the Docker image, Docker hub, right? If you open the official website, Docker, Docker hub. If you publish any images, right? All these images will go and sit here. How do you publish this? Means there is a command to use to publish the image. Once you use that command, the published image will come. For example, let's take MySQL. Okay, someone have already published this image here. Okay, now the when MySQL comes, right, then say Docker pull MySQL. I just copy this command and run in my local. And assume I make QA environment. The development people have already pushed their image to this hub. So this hub is located by official images. This will be with the tags by company wise. They can have their own sign in. They can have their own accounts. So we have to go to that account and select your image. Make sure it can be, we can publish this image publicly, or you can manage these images privately also. Okay, once you this QC have access this Docker image, they pull that image for their testing purpose, and they will go ahead with the testing. Same way, before it go to production also, this same Docker image will be pulled from the production team also, so that it will be available for the production. So that whatever the image in the development is there in all the environments, so that it works consistently without any issues. Hope everyone is clear. What is a Docker? How you build a Docker image, and what is a container, and what is a Docker hub? What is the purpose of the Docker? How do you deploy the Docker image in the container? How you test it? Hope if this video helps you, please subscribe to my channel. In the next upcoming videos, I'm moving to the next higher level, how to publish this images to Docker Hub, and how we can pull the images from the Docker Hub to different environments. And also I'm coming up the Kubernetes, and what is a Kubernetes? What is the advantage of this? What is the drawback of this Docker? How the Kubernetes will solve that problem. Later on, I will go to some other technologies that are proceeding step by step. Okay, make sure if any DevOps team is trying to watch my video, definitely it will help you to your career to understand this DevOps process. Okay, right now we'll stop up here, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.